Welcome back to another edition of Flight Tying with Jim Misiura. Today we're going to tie a Atherton light. This is a classic traditional style we're going to make. And we're going to start out, the hook that I have in the vise is the Lively Legs number 710, size 12. And these are barbless, 3 extra long black nickel hooks. And the 3 extra long, this fly, first of all, this fly can be tied from size 8 to 16. And using the size 12 3X would actually put this the same length as a size 8. And you won't have as much gap to hurt the fish. This will be fine. We're going to start with some 15 thousandths lead-free wire. And I'm going to put about 20 wraps on there. And we'll go ahead and break that back section off. The thread I'm going to use, this is Hemingway's. This is gold yellow, and this is 6/0. We're going to start that in front of the lead wraps. I'm going to hold my lead so that I can get the thread up on it. And we're going to put some wraps to lock it in at the rear. Bring our thread back for our tail. Now for the tail we're going to use lemon wood duck, and I've tied a few with these, and I just have the tip left, which is just about the right amount that I need. And we're going to make our tail 1/3 to 1/2 the length of the hook shank. I'm going to go ahead and give that 2 or 3 wraps. And now for our rib, I'm going to use the oval gold tinsel, and this is medium, which is a good size for this. If you don't have the gold tinsel, you can use a gold wire. If you don't have the oval tinsel, we're going to tie this in. I'm going to keep my tag just to the lead wire, and that will kind of help even it out and also help with the taper there a little bit. Wrap that in, and I'm going to fold this back, and I'm going to wrap this, and that is filling the gaps in the lead wire. Go ahead and trim that, and we're going to bring our thread back. I like to turn it upside down when I dub. For our dubbing, we're going to use a cream colored rabbit fur. This is Rabbit Blend. And the Atherton is a searching pattern, so basically it is a attractor nymph. And we're going to go ahead and wrap this. And we wrap that abdomen. Now we're going to take my rib, and I'm going to counter wrap this. And on this particular pattern, you don't need to counter wrap, but by counter wrapping, you're going to train your brain to counter wrap all the time, and when it's needed, you won't have to think about it, as in when you're tying a pheasant tail, that counter wrap is needed. And I'll put 3 or 4 wraps on that just to make sure that it's tight. And we'll trim this off. Now for the rib, or for the wing case rather, we're going to use a gold Goose quill or turkey quill. but you want a gold one. What I have here is I have a yellow one that I got from the craft store, and I turned it gold by using a tan marker on it. And we want that at least 1/4 of an inch thick. We're going to tie this in, and I'm actually going to come back just slightly on this so I get the right proportion of abdomen to thorax. And we can go ahead and trim off that excess. Now we're going to build our thorax with the same dubbing, and we want to make our thorax a little fatter, so you could go a little bit heavier on your noodle, but remember you can always add more, so don't go crazy. And we'll go ahead and wrap this. And you can see it's not as thick as I want it, so I'm going to go back on it. And I'm going to add a little bit more. And we're going to stay about an eye length and a half from the eye of the hook. Now for the hackle, we're going to use a Partridge hackle, and we're going to use a light partridge, and I'm going to try to find one that is the right size. Now I have my partridge hackle, and hopefully these barbels aren't too long. They'll be okay. Now I'm going to hold the hackle with the concave side to the shank. I'm going to remove the fluff, and I'm going to also remove the top. And be careful when you do this, because you can break that partridge hackle pretty easily. I'm going to pull the rest back, and we're going to tie this in. Again with the concave side to the shank. And we can remove that excess. Now I'm going to take my delicate hackle pliers, because this is a delicate stem. And we're going to give this, we're going to wrap this. And we wrap that whole hackle. And I cut a couple and pulled them forward, but we'll secure that. Going to trim off that stem. Just take your poke and snip and touch it. I'm going to try to hold everything towards the rear there and put a couple more wraps on there. Get them divided evenly. And now we're going to take our wing case. We'll fold that over. Again, stroking all of your partridge to the rear. And we're going to tie that in. I'm going to wrap that tight right down to the end there. Then you can take this and pull this apart and just pluck them off. They don't come off real easy when you have a large number of them. That's why you got to kind of pull it apart. What they say is there's strength in numbers. There we go. And you have yourself a nice clean head there. Now we'll take our whip finish and tie that head. Three to six wraps is plenty. Trim that off. You can even bring that partridge to the bottom there. If you have a couple wild ones there, you can go ahead and pluck them. There we go. Again, the Atherton is a searching pattern. We're going to take head cement, put a little drop of head cement on there. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. If you do subscribe, please hit the notify button so you don't miss any of my videos. Please visit my sponsors and let them know that I sent you. Leave comments, questions, suggestions. If you'd like to purchase any flies from me, go to etsy.com/shop/flymanjim. And if you don't see it there, just send me a message and we'll figure out what you're looking for. And most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.